In an unusual and busy day in the Tennessee Capitol, 3 lawmakers fought to stay within the House. Crowds filled the room, calling on Republicans voting to expel those lawmakers. Those lawmakers getting national attention after being expelled by their own Tennessee House colleagues. One of those lawmakers representing Memphis, Justin Pearson, who represents more than 63,000 people from Harbortown to T.O. Fuller Park in southwest Memphis, is now out of his House seat following a House expulsion done only a handful of times since the 1800s.
We back again. We back. Yep. And today we are breaking down exactly who, where, and what we are getting into tonight. And believe me, there's a heck of a lot of subject matter to dissect. We are talking about this Justin Pearson character down in Memphis, Tennessee, a state representative who turned the local legislature into his own personal audition tape. Before we pull up the garage door to see what's inside, you need to understand the layout of this hustle. Everybody on your timeline is losing their mind over viral clips, but the real hustle is buried in the redistricting parameters. Right after they dropped that maneuver to slice Memphis into 3 separate boundaries, the whole system ran straight into a compliance trap. They thought they'd just ram these redrawn maps through to guarantee a Republican advantage for the midterms without turning the Housetown upside down. The second the protesting members triggered House Rule 19 by bringing air horns onto the floor to stop the vote, it gave the supermajority the exact position they were hunting for. They didn't just cut the mics, they executed a surgical suspension that stripped every single Democrat of their voting seats on primary committees.
It's not the kind of showdown you'd expect in a legislative chamber. But today, politics turned personal in Tennessee. Democratic Representative Justin Pearson hasn't been back to the Capitol since his brother's suicide in December, returning with even more passion behind his bill to end the permitless carry of firearms in Tennessee.
We have the power to do something about the gun violence epidemic, and we don't just have to offer some empty thoughts and prayers. We can do something, and now is the time to do it.
But after Pearson called out a Republican for trying to end the debate, another Republican called out Pearson.
I know every member in this committee's been here this year working during committee, during session, voting on bills.
Yes, sir.
And I know you may have some things going on, but you have not. So I don't think it's fair for you to come in front of this committee and lecture us on hard work and convictions and hard work for our committee.
Thank you, Chair Doggett, and thank you, Chair Farmer, for your comments. They incense me. They make me very, very angry. I buried my brother. I planned for his entire funeral. My fiance made his obituary. I made sure that he was taken care of, even in death. That's what I've been doing.
The committee chairman trying to regain control, cutting off Pearson's mic. That didn't stop him.
That's what you need to think about, Chairman Farmer.
When lawmakers killed the bill,
Mr. Chairman, you have 2 ayes, 7 nays.
everything came to a head.
22 fails.
Lawmakers physically restraining Pearson, while Farmer stares the other way.
It's a cold, calculated bureaucratic hit to neutralize their power before the qualification deadline even hits the desk. And when you strip a professional activist of his official building credentials, the performance spills right out into the street. Welcome back to the channel, my political detox family. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, slam that like button, and pull up a chair, because tonight we gotta ask a real serious question. Who exactly is this guy named Justin Pearson? What the hell does he think he's doing? Who the hell does he think he is? And who does he think he's representing out here? Because let me tell you something, it sure ain't me. Now, I'm a little further north of Justin down there in Tennessee, but I'm watching this man rocking that big, exaggerated afro, acting like he's the second coming of the revolution. I stay up day and night rummaging through these internets trying to see the angle he's shooting for, and I came up with a few ideas I want to share with you. And this brother rubs on my last nerve even worse than Hakeem the Hack Jeffries. See, at least Hakeem puts on a sharp suit and tries to play the corporate game. Justin Pearson is a walking, talking, theatrical performance. He's a state representative, but he wants to act like a street organizer every single time a camera turns on. And let's talk about the look, because I'm tired of it and it ain't working. This brother is walking around looking like he's trying out for a 1970s movie role. It's a retro costume, y'all. It's a helmet hair situation. He looks like a giant microphone windscreen walking down the hallway. He looks like he's about to start a Soul Train line instead of passing a bill for the people. Whoa, Somebody needs to tell him to stop the madness, pick up some clippers, and realize that Afro ain't passing no legislation for the community. We didn't elect a theater major to go out there and play act the civil rights movement. This man ain't eaten not one slice of cornbread in his entire life, if you ask me, and I'll put money on it. But Justin out here playing. He's out here talking all that pork, trying to sound like he's from the block, while he runs a money-grabbing scheme to run a new campaign for himself, and he ain't thinking of nobody but himself. Let's get right into this. Just look at what happened when he went face-to-face with Representative Andrew Farmer, right in his space, hovering over this man at the committee desk, waving his hands, trying to lecture him like he's the moral savior of the South. It's completely radicalized, y'all. He's up there preaching into a dead microphone, using this hyper-dramatic, old-school church tone to score a quick clout on TikTok while the actual policy is flying right over his head. Who told this man he speaks for the culture? Let's perform a real street-level forensic audit on this entire hustle, y'all, because while Justin Pearson is out here locking arms with state troopers, blowing air horns, and staging standoffs on the House floor, what's actually happening to the people in his district? Everyday folks in Memphis are drowning under a brutal cost-of-living crisis. Working-class families are struggling to pay for $6 eggs, out-of-control gas prices, and skyrocketing grocery bills. And this man is treating the state capitol like it's a dog and pony show for his social media feed. Whoa. See, the corporate media loves to run cover for him. They call him part of the Tennessee Three and treat him like a king because the speaker suspended his crew from their committees for violating rules. But look at the actual receipts. Longtime Democratic Congressman Steve Cohen looked at these redrawn maps, realized the district was completely gerrymandered, and decided to pack his bags and retire from Congress.
I don't want to quit. I'm not a quitter. But these districts were drawn to beat me. They were drawn to defeat me.
The redistricting war takes another political casualty, with lone Tennessee Democrat Steve Cohen announcing his retirement from the House instead of facing re-election in a much more Republican district. Cohen announced his decision on Friday, just a week after Tennessee Republicans redrew his majority-black Memphis-based district. The Democrat, who has served for 10 terms since 2006, said that he was guaranteed to lose if he ran in one of the new districts.
I had an uncle a long time ago who told me many pithy statements. And he said, Steve, never put your head in a lion's mouth. And this is what I would be doing, to go out. And I can't represent counties all the way to Williamson County that have nothing in common with Memphis. And Memphis is that's my Jones.
And what does Justin Pearson do the very next second? He don't stay and fight for the local community. He jumps right into the vacuum and announces he's running for that U.S. congressional seat. Y'all see the game now? It was never about the gun laws. It was never about the people. It's about building a personal brand. He used that fake righteous indignation as a stepping stone. He acts wild on the House floor, gets himself penalized on purpose, gets the media to cry foul, and then turn around and drop a campaign website to collect national donor money. It's a total money-grabbing scheme to run a new campaign for himself, and he ain't thinking of nobody but himself. He's wrapped up in activist clothing, and I'm sick and tired of seeing our people get tricked by the performance. Let's be completely transparent about it. The working class is waking up to this theatrical sham. We don't need politicians who just want to make a scene and trend on Twitter. We need leadership that's going to protect our wallets and fix the actual economic disaster hitting our neighborhoods. Justin Pearson is playing checkers for social media clout while the real world is moving forward without him. Whoa, think about the math here. They purge him from the committee, he gets the victim status, the money pours in from California and New York donors, and he rides that wave straight to Washington. It's a constitutional mugging of the Memphis voter.
So, how did we get here? Well, following Nashville's latest mass school shooting last week, Jones, Pearson, and Johnson joined in demonstrations as hundreds of protesters packed the Capitol to call for passage of gun control measures. And while demonstrators filled galleries, the three Democrats, as seen here, approached the front of the House chamber with a bullhorn, participating in a chant. The trio held hands as they walked onto the House floor, and Pearson raised his fist to the crowd during the Pledge of Allegiance.
The conversation and discussion, because that's what democracy requires.
And look at how he talks, that rhythmic voice. He sounds like he's auditioning for a play about 1968, but we're living in 2026. He's trying to use the ghost of the Confederacy as a shield, just like a teen Jeffries. Whenever the legal math don't go their way, they go right to the kitchen junk drawer and pull out the race card. But the street is getting smarter. We see the audio trick, we see the visual shield, and we definitely see the helmet hair for what it is, a costume. Whoa, the Dems are panicking because their blue wall in the South is being dismantled, map by map, seat by seat. They thought they could use these young activists to spark a new movement, but all they sparking is a comedy special.
All glory and honor to God, who makes all things possible, who takes the son of teenage parents Kimberly Owens Pearson and Jason C. Pearson and brings them to an institution built by enslaved people's hand. All glory and honor to God, who brings those who've been marginalized and excluded into this place and tells them that you still have a voice, that you still are somebody, and that the movement for love and justice cannot be stopped because we've still got a heartbeat, because we've still got a movement for love that needs us. We've still got people who are calling on us to act and to do something.
A few moments later.
You got me all tied up. Now you got me all tied up. My brother ain't doing nothing to nobody. He ain't doing nothing to nobody. You don't walk out like yourself. Move the back. Boy! Yeah, let Pearson go. Let Pearson. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you?
Every time Justin Pearson stands up to preach, another 10,000 people realize that the Democrat Party is no longer a political party, it's a production company. They're producing theater while Trump is producing results. Let's look at the nice era and how it contrasts with this madness. While Trump is out here focusing on national integrity and clean enforcement, Justin Pearson is out here focusing on national integrity and clean Afro maintenance. Come on, y'all. Now, for my viewers out there who need the breakdown, the NICE rule stands for National Integrity and Clean Enforcement. It's the standard we use to audit these politicians by cutting through the theater and looking at real metrics. National integrity means you're actually protecting the borders, looking out for the working class wallet, and keeping out-of-state donor money out of the local policy. Clean enforcement means you're passing concrete laws, cutting the bureaucratic fat, and flushing out corruption instead of trying to look cool on social media. If a politician can't hit those two markers, they fail the test, period. One man is trying to secure the border and the economy, and the other man is trying to secure a guest spot on a late-night talk show. The hypocrisy is so heavy you can't even breathe in the room. I stay up day and night rummaging through these internets looking for the truth, and I'm telling y'all, the receipts don't lie. Justin Pearson is a fall guy for a bigger operation. They want to use his energy to distract you from the fact that they are losing the House, they are losing the Senate, and the average American worker is losing his mind or whatever's left of it trying to keep up with these prices. They want you focused on his suspension so you don't focus on your gas bill. They want you focused on his afro so you don't focus on the $60 million map heist they just pulled in Virginia. Look at the geometry of power here. By provoking the speaker into a suspension, he removed himself from the actual work of legislating. He stopped having to answer for the budget. He just gets to stand on the steps and scream into a megaphone. It's the easiest job in the world. You get paid a state salary to be a full-time protester. That is a money-grabbing scheme to run a new campaign for itself, and he ain't thinking of nobody but himself. Let's get right into this. The truth is that our community is being used as the backdrop for this man's career goals. Memphis is hurting, and Justin Pearson is poser-ranking. He's hovering over Andrew Farmer, waving his hands like he's about to cast a spell. It's a joke. If he was serious about the community, he'd be talking about the real municipal funding books or domestic manufacturing protections and how to bring real dollars back to Memphis. He can't do that because he doesn't have a script for it. He only has a script for protest. Whoa, look at the 12.0 red alert here. The 221-seat layout that Akeem was running, Justin Pearson is the ground-level distraction for it. While Akeem is snorkeling underwater, Justin is on the shore doing a Soul Train dance routine to keep your eyes away from the golden fishing boat. But the cork is already in the snorkel, and the performance is running out of steam. make sure y'all hit that like button. They're trying to hide this channel because we name the names and we pull the records. We don't do fluff and we don't do filler. We just deliver the raw truth that the master architects want to keep under wraps. Stay awake, stay alert, and keep your eyes on the board. The 2026 landslide is coming, and it's gonna wash away all these theatrical demon rats in their retro costumes. Whoa, Hakeem, Justin, and the rest of the crew, they've been tricked by the Roadrunner again. They thought they could hide the heist behind a megaphone and a rhythmic tone, but the geometry is shifted, the math is read, the trap is set, and the constitutional mugging of the American voter is officially over. Someone help me say it. The Trump administration is beating the Dems at their own game, and it's glorious to witness, folks. The trap is set, the map is read, the afro is a costume, and the Dems are officially out of moves. The Dems are panicking, and it's a beautiful, beautiful sight to see.